Jasmine, I want you to get out of the house.
Okay, Mother!
So the DNA results finally comes back. And y'all will never believe God himself, God stopped that fire. But if I tell you, he's gonna kill me. I mean, and she's just bawling and crying. They can't understand what she's saying. All she's saying is, I don't have proof, but I feel it in my heart that he killed my mom, and I can't tell you who I'm talking about. If you can't tell us, we cannot see him. Then he gets on the phone and he starts crying. You know, who would do this? And bro, like, my stomach hurt. I can't even handle this. I'm so sad. And then he hangs up. He calls somebody else and he goes, hey, what's up? Nothing, chilling. What's up, TVF Mafia? It's your girl, Jazzy J, and I am back with another mukbang. So today I have some Cheeto fried crab legs, and I also have some sour cream to dip them in, and lime water. So I call all of my subscribers TVF Mafia. So if you would like to be a part of the Mafia, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and turn your post notifications on so that you never miss another video. Give this video a big thumbs up on the simple fact that I have a true crime story time for you guys, and y'all, we gotta dump this thing when we done. That's how just dark this is. We gotta be like the pastors, the counselors, the nurses that have a heart for people in their situations, but they dump it once it's all said and done. You will see why I am saying this. But in the meantime, I'm going to eat, because you already know what I'm about to say. Your girl is hungry. So I made a TikTok. Well, I'm gonna call it a short, because YouTube now has short videos. So this recipe is up in my shorts video. I did kind of overcook it, if you guys can see. Oh, I didn't pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for the food that I'm about to receive. I ask that it may be nourishment to my body. I ask that you bless the hands that prepared it and bless my entire mafia. Amen. Why did I just have a brain fart? Okay, I have never tried these before. My mouth is watering because I normally do the Flamin' Hot Cheeto ones. So I feel like it's gonna taste just as good because I love the hot Flamin' Cheetos ones. Wait, let me try without the sour cream. Looks so good. I hope y'all saw that. Yeah, this story is crazy. However, I always enjoy my meal first. Come out. I would say the hot Flamin' Cheetos have more taste to it. But you can still taste the hot Cheetos with these. This would be good for someone that cannot take spicy food. So in replace of the hot Cheeto flaming. Hot Cheeto flaming. Y'all, I'm really having brain farts. But this will be a good substitute for the flaming hot Cheeto king crab legs. Yeah, it looks so good. I should have put, you know what? I'm gonna do that next time. Some like Mexican cheese, like the nacho cheese, shredded cheese on here and let it melt. That'll be good too. Lime in your water tastes so refreshing. I went out to eat with my sister and she does soda water. She asked for soda water and then she put like 3 cut limes. It was probably like a whole lime altogether, but she put a whole lime in the soda water and it tasted like Sprite. And it was so good. Like you're getting no calories. You're tasting Sprite for no calories, basically. Like if you're a type of person that like that fizz, try soda water with lots of lime. You're welcome. I don't know why I always leave the end pieces. So, did I tell you guys I did kind of burn these? Because with the Flamin' Hot Cheeto ones, I do 400 degrees for 10 minutes. I probably shouldn't have did it with these ones. So if you make these, don't do 400 degrees at 10 minutes. Do like 370 for 10 minutes. And the crab leg is already cooked when you buy them. If it's orange, it's already cooked. So you don't gotta worry about cooking the inside. You just need to get that egg yolk, flour, and crumbs. You need to get that part cooked. That's it. This is really good. Oh, and all you gotta do is scrape off the brown part. It's all good. It tastes the same to me. But this side is much more appealing than that side. How are you guys doing today? I did not ask you that. How are you doing today? What's for dinner? Talk to me in the comment section. Oh. This one, oh, good. This one hot. That's so good though. Yo, if I could title this story, it would be called God Stop That Fire. So a Catholic woman named Susan Hernandez, who was 77 years old, was married to the love of her life. They had been married for 59 years. They had 7 children together. After 59 years of marriage, the husband passed away. And Susan wasn't lonely because she had 7 children, all these grandkids. One of her daughters, Vanessa, lived across the street, and her other daughter, Katrina, didn't live across the street. However, they talked every single day, and they wasn't that far from each other. Well, it's been 6 months since Susan's husband has passed away, and her kids do a good job checking on her, making sure she's not lonely. Oh, she went and got a dog. She has a dog named Baby. Well, the roof, she started having problems, and that can get discouraging. It's only been 6 months since my husband has passed away, and this is our memory. This is our blueprint, and what we have built together is now falling apart. So she was very passionate about getting her roof fixed. But with 7 children, who also has children, she has grandsons that can help her. So on a random Wednesday, Katrina, the daughter that calls her every day, per usual, called her mom at like 7 in the morning to see how she's doing, and no answer. So she didn't think nothing of it. She left a voicemail. She's like, "Hey mom, just calling to check in. Have a great day." Well, she gets dressed, and then something tells Katrina, "Call your mom again." So she calls her mom again, still no answer. That same something told her to get in the car and go to your mom's house. So she gets in the car, she goes to her mom's house. As she approaches the house, she sees smoke flames over top of her mother's house. And she instantly calls 911. She ain't going inside, nothing. It ain't adding up. She ain't answered the phone call, and now there's smoke flame. I'm gonna go ahead and call 911 because I know they take a minute to get here. So prepare yourself because it is hard to hear. So when the police arrive, they realize it was more than a burglary because the door is knocked down. However, nothing's out of place. Everything is still neat and nothing seems to be missing. Ain't no couches flipped over. It doesn't quite look like a burglary. Somebody actually set her on fire. And they knew that from splats of blood on objects near her body. And she also had a big open wound in the back of her head. Her killer had struck her numerous times in the back of her head. So the entire family shows up to the house. Everyone is so distraught. They're trying to figure out who would do this. Why would they do this? So after everyone pulls themselves together, the police has to take everybody down for questioning. But in the meantime, they're going to ask neighbors questions to see if they can get anything, any type of lead or break. So one of the neighbors said, "I did see a blue car at 7 this morning. It was a dark blue car over there. And it was kind of suspicious because it was kind of off of the road a little bit." So the police knows that the last time she was seen was at a store. That's from a camera view. She was seen at a store, and she was also seen walking her dog the day before. A neighbor also said that it was kind of weird that throughout the whole entire night, her lights inside of her house was on. And that was unusual because Susan, she's 77 years old. She goes to bed very, very early. So 9 o'clock, you're like, why are her lights on? 11 o'clock, you're like, why is her lights on? 3 o'clock in the morning, you like, well, what is she doing over there? She normally be asleep with the lights out. So back at the police station where the family is getting questioned, they're asking all the family, like, you know, what would make somebody want to rob her? Did she have any beef with anybody? And they're like, no. And one of the daughters was like, oh, wait, she does have a cash box in her house. And it's full, loaded with cash. Maybe they knew about it and tried to get it. Now the police is like, okay, it's starting to make sense. She has a cash box. She does have something worthy of stealing. So the whole family is released to leave the police station, and they still don't have a murder weapon or anything. So the family decided to make posters, and some family members even made Facebook statuses. So a couple days later, someone calls the 911 operator. There was a woman outside walking, crying and talking to herself. So when the police pull up, she's like distraught. She's just hysterically bawling. And so they follow her to her house to make sure she makes it home. And when they get inside her house, they ask her what's her name. She says Vanessa. She is the daughter of Susan. Susan's daughter, Vanessa, was like, I feel like he did it, but I don't have proof. And the police is like, who? And she's like crying, and she's like, he killed my mom, but if I tell you, he's gonna kill me. And she's just bawling and crying. They can't understand what she's saying. All she's saying is, I don't have proof, but I feel it in my heart that he killed my mom, and I can't tell you who I'm talking about. If you can't tell us, we can't go nowhere. So a week later, the police calls the family back into the police station so that they can do fingerprinting and like a photo shoot of their face or something, mugshot. I don't know what they taking pictures of, but they took pictures of something. Well, as the family is leaving, one of the family members blurt out, God, stop that fire. So in the meantime, the only thing they can do is scrape Susan's nails, because that's the only thing that didn't burn, and hope that they can get samples of DNAs, but they have to wait for it to be done. And someone also turned in her credit cards and ID from the side of the road, so maybe they can get some fingerprints off of there. So the DNA results finally comes back, and y'all will never believe. The DNA sample shows that it was someone connected to her bloodline, but a male. Now, your own family member, and you're 77 years old, my precious grandmother. Who in the world would hurt anybody they're connected to, let alone an elderly woman? She has grandsons that can help her. So one of her grandsons offered to fix the house for her. So the entire family shows up to the house. Everyone is so distraught. They're trying to figure out who would do this, why would they do this? And her grandson Anthony and Katrina are hugging each other. And Katrina asks Anthony, who would do this to your grandmother? And he's just bawling and crying, and he's hugging her. He's like, I don't know, this is horrible. She was so nice. Neighbors said, I did see a blue car at 7 this morning. It was a dark blue car. The neighbor also said the grandson, Anthony, came to his house the day before and said, hey, have you seen my grandma? So now the police is like, okay, it's starting to make sense. She has a cash box. She does have something worthy of stealing. So when the grandson, Anthony, gets interviewed, he walks in and he sees the camera. Soon as he spots the camera, he goes and he switches seats to where the camera cannot see him. Then he gets on the phone and he starts crying. You know, who would do this to my grandma? She was such a nice person, bro. Like, my stomach hurt. I can't even handle this. I'm so sad. And then he hangs up. He calls somebody else and he goes, hey, what's up? Nothing, chilling. So when the investigator get into the room, he's asking Anthony, he said, when was the last time you seen your grandmother? He said, literally just yesterday, because she gave me money to go get the supplies. And he said, well, what were you doing yesterday? He was like, I went to the store to get the supplies. And the investigator said, what store did you go to? And he said, I would have to look. What? You gonna have to look. I didn't ask for the exact amount on the receipt. I just said where. I just said, what store did you go to? But all you can say is, I'll have to, you don't remember if it was Target? Home Depot? Then the police is like, I have to be honest with you, and I hope I do not offend you. However, I have to ask a question because it's just not making sense. Did you have something to do with your grandmother's death? Oh, baby boy flipped out.
Hell no. See, I knew y'all was gonna target me because I'm a felony. I'm always a piece of shit in your eyes, huh? Yeah, I'm not stupid.
Oh yeah, reverse psychology, that thing. Woo! So when the police leaves, he must have forgot the camera was there or something. Them bubble guts got the boiling, and he was like, oh shoot, I messed up because I didn't tell them where I went. Now he realizing his ducks really ain't in a row about this, and he's like talking to himself. He's crying. He's like mumbling to himself like, I shouldn't have. He threw up. He pacing the floor back and forth. So the whole family is released to leave the police station, and they still don't have a murder weapon or anything. So the family decided to make posters, and some family members even made Facebook statuses like Anthony.
I love you, Grandma and Grandpa. You both have helped me so much over the years. No matter what was going on in my life, you were both there. My heart is broke and my mind a wonder without you both here. I will forever cherish our memories shared together. God has his choice now. Love you.
So a week later, the police calls the family back into the police station so that they can do fingerprinting and like a photo shoot of their face or something, mugshot. I don't know what they taking pictures of, but they took pictures of something. Well, as the family is leaving, one of the family members blurt out, God stop that fire. Guess who the family member was? Ding, 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 Anthony. Anthony blurting out, God stop that fire. Well, guess what, my psychopath friend? You are absolutely right. God did stop that fire. And so did you by closing the door, preventing oxygen from getting in the basement. So her whole body didn't burn. They left her fingernails. Her fingernails did not burn because there wasn't enough oxygen for the fire to fully spread. So thank you, God, and thank you, Anthony. Even Anthony's baby girl daughter told the police the day before her grandma got killed, she saw blood on Anthony's ear. His cell phone records places him at his grandmother's house the day of the fire. And a random person turned in Susan's credit cards, her ID, and said that it was on the side of the road. Well, if you look at Anthony's phone records, they also place him over the same piece of the road where her credit cards and ID was found. Susan asked her grandson, or her grandson offered to fix the roof. And she said, yeah, she gave him the money up front to get the supplies. She paid him for the labor, $7,000, and this man never did it. And Susan got to the point she was fed up. And she was like, okay, you want to ignore my phone calls after I pay you when I'm trying to help you out because you just got out of jail? And so after numerous voicemails and no response, she decided to tell him through a voicemail, if you don't have my money back to me by Tuesday, I'm calling the police on you. By Wednesday, her house was caught on fire. So the police gathered all this information and presented it to Anthony. And Anthony goes, okay, I'll give the money back. Do you want me to give the money back? They're like, well, yeah, we want you to give the money back, but we still got to dig into this case. We got to build a case on you. So 4 months later, they went to court. They arrested Anthony, and now he is doing life in prison. Post notification goes to... Thank you so much for having your post notifications on. Shout out to you for being the first to comment on the last video. If you would like a shout out, all you have to do is be the first to comment on the next video. If you would like to see more true crime stories, then click right here. If you would like to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss another video, then click right here. I love you, and I will see you guys in the next mukbang.